Hi, it's Miss Lisa from Growing Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us for story time today. We've been talking all about spring, and one of the most fun things about spring that I think is all of the new animals that come out from hiding after the winter. Today we have a really fun book about one of those kinds of animals. What kind of animal is this? It's a frog. What does a frog say? Ribbit or croak. The title of this story is The Wide-Mouthed Frog. The Wide-Mouthed Frog is written by Keith Faulkner and illustrated by Jonathan Lambert. Now, let's talk about their jobs just a little bit. If Keith Faulkner wrote the story, what is his job called? That's right, the author writes the story. And if Jonathan Lambert made the fun pictures in this book, what was his job? That's right, he's the illustrator. The illustrator makes the beautiful pictures. So this is a really fun front cover. If we call this part the front cover, what is this part called? That's the back cover. And this part on the side that has the title, it's called the spine. All right, should we open up the book? The Wide-Mouthed Frog. Are you ready for a surprise? Oh, it's a pop-up book. The pictures pop off of the page. Isn't that fun? The story says, I am a wide-mouthed frog, and I eat flies, said the wide-mouthed frog, shooting out his long, sticky tongue. Do you see the fly on the end of his tongue? What a yummy breakfast. As he hopped along, he met a blue feathered bird. I am a wide-mouthed frog, and I eat flies, said the wide-mouthed frog. What do you eat, bird? What do you think birds eat? Let's find out. I eat wiggly worms and slugs, replied the bird, snapping his pointy beak. Oh, next, the wide-mouthed frog met a furry brown mouse. I am a wide-mouthed frog, and I eat flies, said the wide-mouthed frog. What do you eat, mouse? What do you think the mouse eats? Let's find out. I eat crunchy seeds and juicy berries, replied the mouse, wiggling her whiskers. Can you wiggle your whiskers? Oh my goodness, he almost got me. Oh, what is this? The wide-mouthed frog was still catching flies when he saw a big green gator, an alligator. I am a wide-mouthed frog and I eat flies, said the wide-mouthed frog. What do you eat, alligator? Look at him, he's got sharp teeth. What do you think alligators eat? Let's find out. I eat delicious, wide-mouthed frogs, replied the alligator, showing his sharp, white teeth. Oh no, that frog must be kind of worried. Let's see what happens. Oh, what? Look at his little mouth. The wide-mouthed frog stopped catching flies and gulped. Then he puckered his lips and made his mouth as small as possible. What does it mean to pucker your lips? It's like what you do when you're getting ready to give someone a kiss. You pull them in like this. He puckered his lips and made his mouth really, really small, so the alligator wouldn't know that he was a wide-mouthed frog. Very smart. "Oh, you don't see many of them around here, do you?" he said, and he leaped into the pond with a splash. Isn't that fun? Should we do it again? Ready? He said, "I gotta get out of here." Splash! The end. Whew! He got away from that alligator. Do you think the alligator really knew he was a wide-mouthed frog? I wonder. Thank you so much for listening to that story with me. That was really fun. I have an idea for an art project / math activity that I'd like to do with you. Do you want to see what I have? All right, let's head over to the art table and we'll do it together. Okay, are you ready to do some art together? Very good. So today we read a book called The Wide-Mouthed Frog. And I have a question for you. Do you know where frogs live? Frogs like to live where there is lots of water. And in ponds where there are a lot of frogs, there's a really cool plant called a lily pad. Have you ever heard about a frog jumping from lily pad to lily pad? Well, that's something that they like to do. So today we're going to do an activity that is art, it is math, and it is physical development. So we're going to be having fun and jumping around too. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make some lily pads. You're going to need a template of a lily pad, or you can draw a lily pad straight onto your paper, or you can ask a grown-up to do that for you. I'm going to use a template today. And I'm going to show you a really cool teacher trick, parents. If you staple your template to the paper that you want to cut out of, you can actually do a few of these at a time. So if you want to cut out the template ahead of time, you're more than welcome to do that. If you are a little one who can trace your own lily pads, I would highly encourage you to do that. So I would say cut out the lily pad from the template and then trace it onto the paper. So I'm cutting out my template now onto the paper that I have it stapled to. Now remember, we only do cutting when our grown-up is around, right? And we only cut paper. Cutting is a really great activity to strengthen those fine motor skills in your hand so that someday when you are writing, you'll have really good control of those muscles. So I'm just cutting the template right out. And then when I'm finished, the staples are all gone, and I have a lily pad on my green paper. So you want to cut out a few of these. I have 5 that I have prepared. You can do 5, you can do 10, you can do as many as you want to do. And what I would suggest is go ahead and take any kind of marker or pen, and on one side, we're going to make a dot. Can you tell me how many dots I made? I made 1 dot, that's right. And on the other side, because I made 1 dot, on the other side of the lily pad, I'm going to draw a 1. Can you see? That's the number 1. You can decorate your lily pad, you can draw flowers on it, whatever you'd like to do to make it your own. Be very creative with it. And then I'm going to show you what I have here. I have 5 lily pads that I already created. So you can see, let's go over them together. How many dots are on this lily pad? There's 1 dot. That's right, the number 1. How many dots do you see on this lily pad? 2. That's the number 2. How about this lily pad? There are 3. Very good. And how many? There are 4. You're really good at this. And how many dots on this one? There are 5. That's right, so I wrote a 5 on the back of my lily pad. So once you have your lily pads ready, I encourage you to place them around the room. You can tape them down if it makes it easier for you. And then I want you to jump from lily pad to lily pad and talk about how many dots you see on the lily pad that you've jumped to. Another thing that you can do if you're not feeling like jumping is if you place the lily pads out on the table, and then you find something that you have, anything that you have, whether it's beads or animals or counters, anything that you can find. You can even use coins, and put that number of things on the lily pad to match the number of dots that are on the lily pad. This is really good for one-to-one correspondence, a really good math skill. And another math skill that we're talking about here is called subitizing. So if you see a grouping of numbers and you can tell how many are there without counting them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you can just look at it and see that there are 5 without counting, that's called subitizing, and that's something that we work on in school too. So I hope you guys have a lot of fun with your lily pad activity. I would love to hear about it at our next show and tell. You can tell me all about the lily pads you made and how you decorated them and how much fun you had learning to subitize and working on your gross motor development. All right, we'll see you guys later. Thank you.